Hey, hi everybody. This is a story I wanted to tell about a buyer I had in France. I'm in Canada, and how the whole thing played out. Um, Hopefully this all records okay. This is a new computer I got here. The webcam and microphone on my old one sucked, so I never used it. Um, Anyways, the buyer was in France, and I don't want anybody to complain about, oh, well, he's an international buyer. Like, I don't have problems with international buyers. I've had more problems with U.S. buyers than anything. This one first, first, well, no, I shouldn't say first. I did have a problem with a guy in Brazil many years ago. But in the grand scheme of things, international buyers are not a problem. So, anyways, it was the day Stan Lee died. So November 11th or 12th, whatever day it was. The guy bought a Stan Lee signed photo. We got it signed ourselves at the Calgary Expo a couple years ago. He's there, Todd McFarlane. And the buyer buys it and then messages it because he wanted to buy a Doctor Who photo as well. And that one was worth more money. And I'd had it for a while. I was kind of wanting to just move it. I was sick of having it in my stock. Was the one that we had obtained ourselves. And just so you know, I feel really weird talking to my webcam because it's not perfectly centered. So as I'm looking at myself, it's weirding me out. Anyways, he messaged me. He wanted to buy both of them, and I looked at his feedback, and he looked legit. I don't like my settings are he can only buy one item every 10 days, and I will never ever, even if I allow somebody to purchase multiple items, which I have done in the past for a couple people. Things have to be sent separate. Um, because if you sell a lot of things to someone, like if you sell a lot as one listing, or if you sell multiple listings, you sell them three things, they can say they didn't get one of them, and you only have one tracking number. And so you're kind of screwed. They can be refunded on everything because there's no proof of stuff. But this went through as like two items anyways. And then I made a choice because he started sending some weird messages after he purchased everything that I was going to suck it up, and I was going to pay the $30 to ship the second item separately. So um yeah, he buys, he pays, and then he messages and he starts asking about all these questions about the Stan Lee photo. And I was like, well, yeah, like, it was signed in Calgary. I got it obtained myself. He had no question about the Doctor Who photo. And he says, well, I'm gonna get the authenticity checked. And I was like, oh, okay. And I don't do PSA or JSA. I think they're a scam. I've seen them not authenticate things that are authentic, and authenticate things that are clearly fakes. Um, so a lot of collectors don't. They know better than to put money in this. So and being that this guy was overseas, like, it seemed weird that he was gonna spend all the money to get it and then send it over to PSA in the States and then have to have it sent back. So thinking maybe they had something over in Europe that I didn't know about. I was like, oh, well, where are you sending it to? And he's like, oh, I was gonna get my buddy to look at it. And I'm like, great. Like, again with the, oh, my buddy says, like, your buddy's gonna look something up and be like, oh, well, 90% of autographs sold on eBay are fake, and then they're gonna get you all worked up, and it's kind of annoying, um, having to deal with stuff because people don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're talking about. So, anyways, I was like, okay, great. Sent them both separate, and we had some issues. First, just trying to get it sent, because we went to our not usual post office, and this other one wasn't smart enough to understand how we already had the registered letter barcode labels from Canada Post. And Canada Post was on strike at the time, but it was a rotating strike, so it really didn't affect us in Saskatchewan. Like, one day or 2 days it affected us, but it hit the Toronto area really hard because what a rotating strike is one day one city will be on strike, like Regina's on strike and Calgary's on strike. The next day, Vancouver and Winnipeg, and then Toronto and Montreal. Like it kept rotating. So because Toronto is such a big area, they were the hardest hit. But it was this a couple weeks after it was sent, it was scanned somewhere in Quebec, I forget where, but it said item or delivery may be delayed. I'm so fidgety. I'm on like a stool, just in front of my computer, not comfortable. So it said delivery may be delayed due to a labor dispute, and the buyer emailed me and or messaged me through eBay, and they asked about that. I said, well, yeah, we are going on. We have a strike going on. Explained how it worked, and they were understanding. They're like, oh, okay, not a big deal. Hopefully they get it figured out soon. Government was threatening to send everybody back to work because it was Christmas time and Toronto was so backed up. I forget how many trailers they had, and they're saying it would probably be till March till they got them all sorted out. But again, this is in Quebec, somewhere this is scanned. So a couple weeks later, he's like, "Oh, I still haven't got anything. Do you know have an update?" I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna contact Canada Post because things should still be moving. Toronto is the area where they're saying is screwed up completely. Um, like I'm gonna find out what's going on." So call Canada Post and like, oh no, it got to France. It just wasn't the first line of the tracking said that it was delayed in Canada. But then if you went a couple of places down, it was out of order and it did say that it went into France like 2 days before that. Or 2 days after that, I mean. Like November 23rd or something. So we're like, oh, okay, that's weird. And they're like, yeah, like they probably got it, so they probably just isn't updated in the system. So they were contacting the French post office to get all the information. And I forget what I told the guy at the time. But anyways, there's a little bit of back and forth. We start getting information from Canada Post, and he had got both items. They're a couple days apart. It's like the 8th and 10th or something like that. And he wasn't like hounding me or anything. I don't know if I would say this guy's a scammer. I think he saw an opportunity and tried to take it. I think is what was up with him. December 20th, I think it was right before Christmas. He messaged me and he's like, "Oh, I got the Doctor Who photo, but not the Stan Lee photo." And I was like, "Oh yeah, what a coincidence that you're saying you didn't get the one that you were questioning to start with." And I knew at that point I'd had enough information for Canada Post, I think. Or maybe it wasn't until January they got the letter. He had him at that point. I don't think I knew until January that he had got them. I think I'd said with that message I was still waiting to hear back. And then I got the information. And I just got to stop messaging him because I was like, yeah, you got this. Like, and at that point there really wasn't anything to do besides wait and see if he opened a claim. So end of February comes, and he waited an awful long time. End of February comes, and it's more than 3 months since he placed the order. And we get the email, claim is open. We call eBay, and eBay didn't close it for any reason other than he had waited too long to open it. So they're like, oh, he didn't even have a right to open this, so we're closing it. I should note that the tracking number and information still wasn't uploaded on Canada Post's site, and they had, when they opened the service tickets, somehow accidentally deleted one of them from their system. But I did have physical copies of things, which eBay won't, and this may have changed because this was right before they initiated the faulty returns program. But they don't. You could have all the proof you want. They won't take it unless they can just go to a website and see what is uploaded. The buyer waited a couple days. He went to PayPal, opened another case of PayPal, and when he had the case open with eBay, he was only trying to get the money back on the Stan Lee photo. I forget if I said that was cheaper of the two. But when he went to PayPal, he tried to get the money back on everything. And PayPal is like eBay. They also don't like to accept proof on things when it's an eBay sale, unless it's just like tracking that was uploaded to the transaction. But this time they're like, no, no, send us what you got. So I sent them, I scanned the copies of the letters from Canada Post and uploaded a screen cap of the message from him saying where he admitted he got one of them, and called PayPal back, and right away they closed it. They're like, wow, we've never seen anybody have things documented so well. We're closing this right away in your favor. And then next day, get another email. Oh, your buyer disputed this and they've been refunded. But they took the money, they paid it themselves. They didn't take the money from us. So that was good, but it kind of pissed me off that eBay, they said, or PayPal, they said it was unique circumstances. Pissed me off that eBay and PayPal lately have been doing things like that, where they're refunding buyers when they shouldn't be. Like when there's proof that somebody's gotten something and you're going to take that proof. I mean, as a seller, it's a good thing because we didn't lose that. It's like 300 and some bucks, but yeah, they shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, that was the story. Don't be scared of international buyers. Very rarely does something like that happen. Like I said, I think it was that he thought he saw an opportunity, that he thought there wasn't tracking and that I had no way to get proof of anything, and thought he would take that opportunity because he had bought something as an impulse item. Like, oh, Stanley died, I gotta get this now. Yeah. Anyways, that's the story. I'm really tired. Good night.